Hi everyone, hope you're doing great. We've got a packed show for you today. Some huge updates from both Marvel and DC, a new direction for Predator, uh, some Doctor Who shakeups, and we'll wrap it up with today's CovrPrice Daily Shakers Report. So buckle in, there's a lot to cover, and welcome to Comic Issues Daily. I'm Bryant, and let's kick things off with a celebration of some truly perfect endings over in the MCU. All right, and the first thing we got is let's start big. We got Sage Ashford over at CBR put together a list of about something nearly impossible in superhero comics, the perfect endings. We're talking about those rare finales that actually stick the landing when it feels like there's never a real last issue. Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man nailed it. After a brutal fight with the Mandarin, Tony Stark drops the whole top cop identity and gets back to being as a scientist and innovator. He's heading into space, finally at peace and focusing on the future. Chris Claremont's X-Men wrap up one last emotional showdown between the team and Magneto on Asteroid M. uh, ending with Magneto's apparent death. And in Marvel's, Philip Sheldon stops photographing heroes after Gwen Stacy's death, symbolizing the end of the Silver Age. Ashford didn't stop there. He covered arcs like the Kang Dynasty, which ends on reflection instead of victory, and Guardians of the Galaxy by Al Ewing, where the team heals and finds hope after trauma. The unbelievable Dead Gwenpool turns metafiction into optimism, and the immortal Hulk dives deep into ex- existential finale in hell itself. Loki, Agent of Asgard, redefines Loki from God of Lies to God of Stories, and Superior Spider-Man delivers that unforgettable moment when Otto gives Peter Parker his body back, proving no one replaces the real Spider-Man. Which one of these perfect comic endings do you think deserves the big screen treatment? Drop your favorites in the comments and let's see. I'd love to see what your picks are. And speaking of alternate endings, the Avengers almost had one of the funniest ever. One of the funniest ever pitched. All right, Mark Cassidy over comicbookmovie.com revealed a wild behind-the-scenes story from the early developments of the Avengers Kang Dynasty. Before it evolved into Avengers Doomsday, co-writers Michael Waldron and Jeff Loveness pitched an ending where the Young Avengers actually defeated Kang, only to find out they beat the wrong one. Here's the kicker. The Kang they took down was a rookie variant carrying a little note saying, "Be patient," because it was literally his first day as Kang. Waldron even joked it might have been the Lizard Kang from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It's the perfect blend of humor and time travel chaos, and it confirms that the Young Avengers were originally set to play a much bigger role. Even though that version's gone, Avengers Doomsday, hitting theaters December 18th of 2026, is still building towards Secret Wars in 2027, with the Russo brothers returning. We're talking rumored returns. Well, we've already got the return of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Paul Rudd is supposed to be coming back as Ant-Man, and even Ian McKellen as the Magneto. Plus, we got some others from all across Marvel movie madness. So it should still be a very great day, and maybe we'll even get some of the champions to pop in. You never know, or Young Avengers. Be honest, would you have kept the first day as a Kang twist? That's kind of a funny little thought to it. Let me know in the comments if Marvel missed out on a hilarious payoff, or did they make the right call going serious? Now let's jump over to DC, where one actor just turned a Marvel setback into a major win. Josh Wildling at comicbookmovie.com broke another story where he broke down about how Aaron Pierre, originally cast in Marvel's Blade, landed on his feet in a massive way. After Blade fell apart in development, Pierre moved over to DC, scoring the co-lead role of John Stewart in Lanterns, the upcoming HBO series set for 2026. Showrunner Chris Mundy describes Lantern as a buddy cop style superhero show pairing John Stewart with Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, on a dark, grounded murder mystery in the American heartland. It explores that replacement theme when veterans step aside and new heroes take up the mantle. Mundy praised Pierre for having the perfect mix. Uh, uh, Pierre for having the perfect mix of strength and thoughtfulness, saying he radiates fortitude and a hunger to be the best version of himself. The show will take place across multiple time periods, exploring the character's evolution, not adapting one comic, but staying true to the spirit of the source. That layered storytelling means we'll see Jon Stewart like never before. What excites you more, the time jumping structure or the grounded mystery vibe? Tell me in the comments what you're hoping to see from Lanterns, and while DC is lighting things up, Marvel is sharpening its aim because Bullseye is back. And Marco Vito Odo confirmed that Wilson Bethel is officially returning as Bullseye in Daredevil Born Again Season 3. Alongside Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, filming starts next year, and Bethel teased the Season 2 will dive even deeper into Deck's broken psyche, leading to what we call the coolest Bullseye fight sequence yet. That should be pretty interesting. But Otto made a great point. With 3 straight seasons focused on Daredevil and Kingpin and Bullseye, there's a risk of things feeling a little repetitive. And it does sound like that. And Daredevil has one of the best villain lineups in Marvel history. And there's so much untapped potential there. Still, fans can't get enough of that brutal dynamic, and Bethel's return is already building hype. Um, yeah, I remember the first 15 minutes of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, and they were great. We got 3 seasons of Daredevil, Kingpin, and Bullseye. Awesome continuity or time to move on. Comment below with the villain you most want to see in season 3. And now, while Marvel villains are coming back, one long running partnership just came to an end. And this is over at Disney. Big update for Doctor Who fans. Spencer Perry and Ray Fluke from Bleeding Cool confirmed that the Disney Plus has officially ended its co-production deal with the BBC after just 2 years. Costs were too high and viewership wasn't quite strong enough to justify the investment. But don't panic, the BBC isn't slowing down. Lindsay Salt said Doctor Who remains one of their most beloved dramas and promised the Doctor isn't going anywhere. Russell T Davies is already confirmed to write a new Christmas special for 2026, and there's still a spinoff, The War Between the Land and the Sea, coming this December. Plus, there's even an animated Doctor Who series on the way. How do you feel about Disney stepping away from Doctor Who? Comment your take. Was it the right move, or do you think the partnership ended too soon? Meanwhile, one franchise that never is afraid to reinvent itself is Predator, and the new sequel goes all in. All right, Spencer Perry brought us the first reactions from the world premiere of Predator Badlands, directed by praised Dan Trachtenberg, and this one changes everything. For the first time ever, the Predator is the protagonist. Trachtenberg said the movie is told entirely from the Predator's point of view. A massive shift for the franchise and maybe even the entire science fiction genre. Early reviews are calling it a badass expansion and the most action-packed Predator film yet. Though some critics say it leans a bit too hard on comedy and might divide fans, still, it's a gutsy move that could redefine how we look at the series. A Predator lead story, bold or blasphemy? Let me know in the comments whether you're into this direction or if you prefer the classic formula. And speaking of bold, let's wrap up with some Kryptonian rumors shaking up the DCU. And Marco Vito Otto reports that Millie Alcott's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is heading back for reshoots, and rumor has it Superman is joining the party. And according to insiders, I think I actually covered this story already the other day, so we'll skip it. Basically, Superman is possibly going to be in some reshoots for Supergirl. So it could be pretty interesting. Let me know what you think about having a Superman appear in this one. All right, moving on. And now we're going to go to the CovrPrice Daily Shakers report. We got a lot of movers here, and the first one we got is Showcase number 4 from 1956, and a CGC 4.0 sold for $12,600. I believe that's the first appearance of the Barry Allen as the Silver Age Flash. And then we got Showcase number 22 in a CGC 7.0 from 1959, and sold for $11,700. And it's the first appearance of Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern. And then we got X-Men number 1 from 1963 in a CGC 5.0, sold for $10,800. And you know who all those people are. And then we got Fantastic Four issue number 49 in a CGC 9.2 from 1966, sold for $6,000. And then we got a Tales to Astonish issue number 27 from 1961 in a CGC 7.0, sold for $6,000 also. And then we got Avengers issue number 1 from 1963 in a CGC 6.0, sold for $5,601. And we're going to follow that one up with X-Men number 10 from 1965 in a CGC 9.6. That's a pretty awesome grade right there. In a sold for $5,520. And we're going to follow that one up with Captain America issue number 74 from 1949 in a CGC 1.5. Low grade is better than no grade. Sold for $5,249. And then we got Fantastic Four number 1, the debut of the Marvel's first family from 1961, sold for $4,800 in a CGC 2.0. And we followed that one up with Fantastic Four issue number 48 in a CGC 9.0 from 1966, sold for $4,320. These were some incredible sales, and a reminder that silver and bronze age classics continue to dominate the market. And if money was no object, which one of these keys would you add to your collection? First, let me know in the comments what your ultimate grail book is. Me personally, I would love to have that X-Men number 1. Just saying. If you know anybody, let me know. All right, and the B is joining in on the action over here. All right, now we're going to move on. I'm going to tell you about our Comic Channel Origins. It's my live stream that I do every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, where I talk to YouTube comic book content creators about how they've grown their channel from 0 to where it is now. The last interview I did was with the Mike from Lynch Money Comics. It was a great interview. Learned a lot. Very informative. And he's a great guy to talk to. Check it out if you haven't already. And this Sunday, I'm going to be talking to Paul from Sector 2815 about his channel and everything that he does over there. So please check that out this Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see you there. And then also, please check out the sponsor of my channel, Ron's Comic Closet. And if you use code IHAVEISSUES at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first purchase with Ron. And he has new issues, back issues, and a lot of other great stuff to check out. And that's going to be it for this episode of Comic Issues Daily. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a video. And as always, I hope all of your issues are comics. All right, thanks guys. See you later. Bye.